Let's be honest, AI is everywhere right now. And so is the hype. It's almost deafening. But for any leader, the real question is simple. What does this actually mean for my business? So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're not talking about science fiction. We are laying out a clear, practical roadmap to implement AI with intention and see real results in just 90 days.
You know that feeling, right? You see competitors making moves, you hear the constant buzz, and this tech anxiety kicks in. That fear of being left behind is very real. And look, the debate about if you should use AI, that's over. The real challenge now is how. How do you actually begin without wasting a ton of time, money, and effort?
And this right here is the core of our entire approach today. The businesses that are really winning with AI, they aren't the ones buying every new shiny tool. No, they're the ones that start with a solid plan. This isn't about technology, it's about strategy.
So here's the journey we're about to take. We'll start by reframing the problem itself, then we'll walk through 3 really manageable 30-day phases. And finally, we'll talk about how you can take that all-important first step. Okay, let's dive right in.
You know, a lot of leaders see AI as this giant, impossible mountain to climb. But the real problem isn't the technology's complexity, it's our approach to it. We have to stop looking for some kind of silver bullet tool and start with a simple, manageable framework instead.
I love this slide because it instantly makes AI feel less intimidating. This analogy, this is your new mindset. Think about it. An intern is powerful, sure, but you would never hand them the keys to the company on day 1, would you? Of course not. You manage them, you guide them, you check their work, and that's the exact same principle we're applying here.
And managing this AI intern follows a really clear process. First, you have to give it precise instructions because any ambiguity just leads to mistakes. You always review its work, you never just assume it's perfect, you guide it with high-quality examples and templates, and maybe most importantly, you integrate it intentionally, and only where it adds real, tangible value. So let's move into phase 1 and see how this all comes together. For the first 30 days, we're not focused on productivity at all. We are focused on preparation. This is all about building the guardrails before we even think about starting the engine.
The key actions for this first month are simple, but they are absolutely non-negotiable. You need to establish who owns AI in your organization. You have to really understand your data security. And, crucially, you need to identify where your business is actually getting bogged down, the real friction points.
So the goal here is simple: safe before productive. This means assigning an owner, creating a clear policy on what's allowed, and figuring out where your team is already using tools like ChatGPT. And that's not to punish them, it's to standardize the approach. This is all about mitigating risk from day 1. Now, once those guardrails are up, you can start looking at those friction points. Broadly speaking, AI helps in 2 ways. 1, it can automate repetitive tasks to free up your team's time. Or 2, it can analyze data to give you smarter business insights. Knowing which one of those you're aiming for is absolutely essential. Okay, so you've laid the groundwork. Now it is time to move into phase 2. For the next 30 days, we stop planning and we start doing. But, and this is the key, we do it intentionally. The guiding principle for this entire phase is just this: think small to win big. Instead of trying to revolutionize your entire company overnight, just focus on one single pilot project. The goal here isn't some massive transformation, it's simply to test your assumptions and to learn. And if you're sitting there wondering where to start, well, here are some perfect testing grounds. These are high-frequency, low-risk tasks that exist in pretty much every business. Automating FAQs, drafting social media content, summarizing reports, these are ideal places to learn what actually works for your team.
This right here should take all the pressure off. Your first try with AI doesn't need to be a home run. It just needs to teach you something valuable. Think of it as a data gathering exercise for your own business. All right, you've run your experiment, you've learned a ton. Now we enter the final 30 days, phase 3. This is where we take what worked and turn it into a real, lasting business advantage.
The scaling process is really straightforward and logical. First, you measure your success with actual numbers. Then, if the pilot was a success, you create a formal plan to expand it. And finally, you train the broader team so that everyone can benefit from it. And when we talk about measuring success, we mean hard metrics. How many hours did your team actually save? Did your customer satisfaction scores improve? Did it impact revenue or reduce costs? You have to be able to prove the return on investment to justify scaling it up.
So after 90 days of this very intentional approach, what have you actually achieved? Well, it's not just about a new tool. It's about building a fundamentally smarter, faster, and more competitive operation.
See, success isn't some flashy dashboard. It's a team that has more time for deep strategic work. It's a business that understands its customers on a completely new level. And ultimately, it's a more resilient organization where AI is just another effective tool in the toolbox, seamlessly integrated into how you operate.
And let's be crystal clear about the ultimate goal here. This entire journey isn't about replacing people, it is about augmenting their potential. It's about giving your team superpowers, tools that let them do their best work faster and smarter than ever before.
So, we've laid out the entire map for you. The only thing left now is to take that first step. So, I want you to think about it. Based on everything we've just covered, what is the one small, manageable action you can take tomorrow to begin your journey?